Introduction. The irony is I fucking hate coconut, as in full vomitorious spine chills just thinking about its nasty texture, to say nothing of the chunder-taunting scent that conjures peroxide-y sluts, smearing their kini cleaves with Panama Jack tan-fastic oil. I might even go so far as to say I don't even trust people who like coconut. But still, despite nightmarish Hawaiian tropic Girls Gone Wild visions and hellacious flashbacks of a bearded Tom Hanks looking not unlike the 20th hijacker eating coconuts on that island, if I had to identify myself with one advertising campaign, it would be the 80s jingle of Mounds and Almond Joy. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. For 25 years, my father worked for Doyle Dane Bernbach, the legendary Madison Avenue advertising agency that was proto-Don Draper, complete with the same martini lunches and genius minds, but the Jewy Justine version. When most peeps see commercials, they get up to pee, get another soda, or comment on the program that was just interrupted. Yeah, no, not in our house. Be quiet, my dad would instruct us through the first decade of my childhood. Guys, shh, please, the commercials are on. He was obsessed, so we were obsessed. Copywriting, casting, execution. We raved about great ads and rolled our eyes over the shitty ones. I still do. Dr. Scholl's, you gelling anyone? I started to think of individuals in terms of campaigns. The blowjob queen was Bounty, the quicker picker-upper. The geeks who got hazed in high school were Timex, takes a lickin' and keeps on tickin'. The virginal church mouse was Ivory Soap, 99.44% pure. The hot guy I had a crush on was Bell Telephone, reach out and touch someone, i.e. me. My brother and I grew up so attuned to branding and media images that when it came time to write my college essay, to in fact brand myself, I chose to do so with a slogan. At the time, the fall of 1991, HBO's tagline was simply the best. AT&T's was the right choice. I could have kissed ass and picked one of those and sold myself in a shining halo of light as the girl upon whose blessed head they should bestow admission. But I am a firm believer in truth in advertising. So while I could have tooted my own horn and painted myself as my public persona of well-rounded student, a cappella singer, newspaper editor, big brag sheet, blah, 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 the reality was, and still is, that I am a weirdo. I'm inappropriate. I laugh when I'm not supposed to. Actress in a play accidentally falling off the stage, funerals. And I peed my pants a little bit when my poor French waiter tried his damnedest to recite the mid in the house ice cream flavors as bitch and apricot. I laugh all day long, pretty much. I can't not laugh. Humor has been the buoy that keeps my entire family afloat. My dad did stand-up comedy to put himself through business school, and he instilled in us a value system based on good times and cackles aplenty. Not the let's dance on tables and snort lines of coke type of good times, but the let's laugh our asses off if we can. We're all going to be dead in 80 years or less, and the ones who live the best obviously aren't the ones with the most money or most successful careers. They're the ones who laugh the most, who are the most nutty. Not as in whack job serial killer who makes suits out of fat people, but as in the right kind of bonkers, the goofy kind, the type who giggles and guffaws even in tricky times. My idol, Woody Allen, once had a character in one of his films hatch a formula I value above anything Einstein could have cracked. Comedy equals tragedy plus time. Brilliant, right? The bigger the tragedy, the more time is needed, obviously. Remember when everyone went shithouse when the New York Post used H-cost in a headline to abbreviate Holocaust? And obviously, big tragedies can't ever become comedic. The little blind panhandling child in Slumdog Millionaire won't sit around at age 92 and be like, wasn't that so funny when those beggar pimps poured acid in my retinas? But in general, my 2020 hindsight has made me, eventually, absolutely howl at anything on the spectrum. From the ordinary Seinfeldian banal, that's gold, Jerry, gold, to situations that were at the time unbearable. Granted, my life is a slice of cheesecake relative to what some endure, Slumdog Millionaire, chemically burned eyeballs, et al. I was hardly shaking a cup on the corner. I've never buried parents, and my New Yorker frenzied stress of being a working mom of 3 was always relative. But I did get cancer at 35, and the surgery gave me scars that make me look not unlike stitched-up Sally from Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. But honestly, in comparison to some past romantic breakups and other previous life drama, the C word was not a mucho. By the way, the C word used to not be cunt, but cobbler, a term I detest because it's a fruit dessert and someone who fixes shoes, go figure. Because I've trained myself to use nuttiness as a coping mechanism, the surgeons at Sloan Kettering were quasi-uncomfy with my OR tumor humor. So am I totally going to be Sinead Kargman or what? But when I emailed my friends updates and wisecracks about my wheelchair drag racing, they all said they were happy to see I was still joking around, that I was still myself, still a nut. I think in my little abacus of smiles, I'm racking up more than most. I'm hoping that anyone who may be in a quagmire might recognize themselves in some of these bizarre adventures and know that in time, as St. Woody of Allen said, they will be mined for comedy. More than comedy. Gold, Jerry, gold. JK.